Hi everyone, welcome back to our 3-part series and comprehensive guide on selling your property in Nicaragua. I'm Haley Grace and this is Todd Devin.
For those of you who watched part 1 in our seller series where we interviewed well-known attorney Sergio Corrales, thank you for all of the tremendous feedback that you gave us. If you still haven't seen that episode, put a comment below and we'd be happy to send it to you, or send us an email or another message through social media.
In today's episode, we're going to cover the listing process and answer some of the commonly asked questions with our sellers. Be sure to reach out for a copy of the seller's guide where we cover all of this.
There are 2 main types of listing contracts or situations here in Nicaragua. One is an open listing and the other is an exclusive listing. Now, with an open listing, you're not contracting with one agency. A seller is putting that listing out there to multiple agencies. And the only way that the agency earns a commission is if that agency themselves brings a buyer. The other type of listing agreement is an exclusive listing agreement where you are contracting one agency to be your representative.
Okay.
And then in turn, that agency will work hand in hand with other agencies in a cooperative manner and offer them part of the commission if they should bring a buyer. While an open listing may sound like it's a great arrangement for the seller because they feel like they're having lots of different agencies working for them, in reality, it has its downfalls because the seller does not have one true representative. Oftentimes with open listings, agencies will see the listing and they may put it on their website, but they're not actually giving it its full due in terms of marketing and spending the attention and time and dollar resources needed in order to properly advertise that property. One of the disadvantages with open listings is your typical seller doesn't have contact with all of the different agencies within any given market. So you may know X agency or Y agency, but do you really know everyone who's working in that market? Oftentimes not. So your property is not getting exposed to all of the different agencies, all of the different agents who may have potential buyers.
Right. And when a seller is in charge of getting that information out to those agencies, things can fall through the cracks.
Absolutely. If there's a price reduction or something has been improved on the house and you have new photos to go out, that doesn't necessarily get disseminated to all of the different agents.
Right. But so with an exclusive contract, going back to that, some of those advantages is that you are hiring an agent to be in charge of your listing and getting all that information out for the duration of that contract. So any price reductions, any new photos, any information that's pertinent to your listing, your agent is getting that information out for you.
You have one point of contact. Instead of going down a list and trying to contact 20 agents, you have one agent. And that agent's responsibility is to make sure that your house is in front of everyone, in front of their potential buyers and the potential buyers from other agents.
Right. And with exclusive agency, they'll be able to properly market your property and get you a package that allows for maximum exposure between their buyers and those leads, but also the other agencies. So making sure that they're pushing your property to the best of their ability and getting it out there for everyone to see.
And there's no extra fee for an exclusive agency relationship. In that scenario, we as listing agents offer half of the commission to another agency should they bring the buyer.
Another advantage of the exclusive contract is that streamlined communication, that one point of contact with an agent. That helps with your showings, with the feedback from buyers as they're going and seeing your property. If you're not here in the country, that person's going to be getting you all of that information, one person that you've hired, instead of the open contract where you're going to be communicating with all kinds of agencies and your communication won't be as clean and crisp as it will be with an exclusive listing.
And then what about negotiation? In an open listing agreement, often you're going to be dealing with an agent who represents their buyer. So who's representing you as a seller? No.
You won't have anyone in your corner.
You won't have anyone in your corner.
Yep.
So with an exclusive listing agreement, we, as your exclusive listing agent, are representing you as the seller. We're going to get you the top price that we can with the best terms that we can, and we're going to make sure that the whole transaction is streamlined and successful, smooth from start to finish.
That's right. With the exclusive contract, you're also going to have a better accountability with your agent, a higher level of accountability. They're working for you, contractually bound, so they're going to be looking to get your property sold, as Todd said, for the best price, someone in your corner, and they're going to be guiding you the whole way, making sure that your transaction from listing to showings, all through the process is smooth.
An exclusive listing agreement is a two-way commitment between the seller and the agent, whereas with an open listing agreement, there's no commitment. With an exclusive, you know you have that dedicated representative, and that agent knows that in the end, when that property sells, they're going to be compensated. As such, they will spend more money on advertising, marketing, all of the things that you need today in this market to get your property sold. Pricing is key in terms of getting your property sold and sold for the top dollar. So you're going to want to make sure that you're getting a CMA, comparative market analysis, that's extremely comprehensive. And it's a little bit tricky here in Nicaragua because we don't have the same tools that we did in other markets. As you know, I'm a broker in the States, and we had a multiple listing service. And most people from North America or Europe are accustomed to this. And that is a database with all of the information. Here, that just doesn't exist. Determining the value and pricing of property here is a little bit more challenging. And there are a lot of factors that determine what the property's value is and what the list price should be. Location, condition, other competing properties that are on the market now, all in addition to what has sold recently.
When working with a seller, we like to offer 3 different options with pricing: aggressive, moderate, and conservative. So after you've had a CMA with your agent, the next step is going to be discussing those potential price points. Your agent should offer you some options based on your motivation. If you're an aggressive seller, you're going to want to price it low, potentially below market, after you've reviewed what's already on the market, taking a look at how your house compares or how your property compares. If you're going to price aggressively, you're likely to see that property sell at a much quicker rate than if you go with the other options. A moderate pricing will give you more of a balanced price point, and it will attract serious buyers without devaluing your property.
And I think it's really important that a seller discuss what their actual goals are in the sale.
Absolutely.
Because not all of the time are the seller's goals the same. So you have sellers who want to sell quickly for whatever reason. Maybe they need the money for a different investment. Maybe there's been a change in family circumstance. And then there are others who are looking to hold out until they get a certain price.
That's right.
And so it's very important to be upfront with your agent about what your goals are. We're not going to undersell or try to oversell your property. We want to work with you to reach your pricing goals.
That's right. With conservative pricing, you're going to be listing at a price point that you're willing to wait for the market to come up and bring you that highest price point. So you might experience a slower sale, but you're going to get a better price for your property. If you don't need to sell quickly, you might consider that conservative pricing because you can price your property up a bit higher and potentially get a much higher value than what you would if you priced it in that aggressive or that moderate price point.
Absolutely. Again, working with you on your goals to sell your property.
Right. All depending on your motivation, your agent will help guide you on what price point best fits your motivation.
Touching on the elements that we put in a listing contract, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to put in the legal description of the property. That's the address, the location, the size, the purchase price or the list price rather that we've determined, the commission, and then the length of time that contract is good for.
Yeah.
We'll also add any other details that may have come up in terms of
Caretakers,
whether the property is furnished or not.
if it's being rented,
If it's being rented,
how to schedule showings.
All of this information we'd like to put in that contract so you as the seller and us as the agency are on the same page.
Very important.
So part of our marketing strategy is a seller's listing form. That seller's listing form has all of the characteristics of a property as well as a description for our social media platform,
Website.
for the website, and the information we're going to get out there to other agents. Once we've compiled all the information on the seller's listing form, we like to go back and talk to the sellers about the information that's on the listing form, because who better to give us feedback about the property than the seller themselves?
That's right.
There's a reason that the seller purchased this property, and so the seller knows all of those bonus points that they want to get out.
What makes their property special. Yes. After we get the seller's listing form organized, we get it over to our marketing team, and they take care of getting it up on the website and targeting certain markets specifically for your property.
And that goes out to all of our different social media platforms. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're all over the place with it.
We are.
The next step after the listing of the property, of course, is getting ready to show the property. So number one, obviously, you're going to want to make sure that that property is clean and presentable. We try to declutter the property.
Get it staged.
Do any maintenance that really sticks out. If there's water leaks, things, we're going to want to address those in almost all cases.
Absolutely.
The next thing to consider is showing schedule. Now, on vacant properties, obviously, it's usually not an issue. We just want to make sure that the property is clean. We can come in, open the blinds, and present the property in the best light. However, when properties are on an Airbnb market or have mid or long-term rentals, that's something that you need to discuss with your agent, because we as agents can't sell a property unless we can show it.
Have access.
So we understand that at times it's not possible to show the property, but of course you need to realize then that does limit our ability to present that to potential buyers. One of the things that we try to impact to sellers is that it's a very unique market here with people coming to visit and having very short time to see property.
Right.
So oftentimes we are not able to give as much notice as we would like to a seller. This potential buyer may only be here for another day. They want to look at property, and it's our only opportunity to get that buyer in front of that house.
That's right. Going over your preference for rentals versus showings is a good idea to do with your agent ahead of time so that you can have a smoother process with showings for your agent to better get your property sold.
Absolutely. We want to work with you and your tenants, but you have to realize that oftentimes we only have one shot to show that property.
Another important point to consider with the exclusive listing is that your agent's going to be working with all of the other agencies to schedule these showings. So it's not just Emerald's team scheduling showings for that property, it's also your agent scheduling with all of the other agencies in Nicaragua. So that's a very, very important point to make sure you have that communication so that scheduling showings is easier, streamlined, to better get your property sold.
Absolutely. If we know up front what the showing guidelines are, we can give that information to the other agents as well, so we can accommodate properties that need a 24-hour notice.
That's right. Set up those protocols ahead of time so that everyone's working and on the same page.
Absolutely.
Open houses are a great way to create some buzz on your property. So your agent may want to schedule an open house, invite potential buyers in to come see the property, as well as maybe some broker meetups where your agent will host all of the brokers in the area and allow them to come in, check out the house, check out the property, learn about all the special features, understand the home, so that they can better go look for their buyer leads and bring those buyers to you and schedule showings.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching. We hope that you have found this information useful. If you would like us to discuss any other real estate topics, give us a comment below. We'd be happy to help out.
Be sure to subscribe, comment, and like, and follow along for our third episode where we're going to discuss offers, negotiations, and closing timelines.
The best stuff.